Hello, thanks for stopping by. This is Elvira and the Party Monsters for PC, released in October of 2025 for the Zen Pinball platform. I like video pinball a lot, and I have a pretty decent collection of discs for all different types of systems, with tons of different tables. The more modern pinball tables seem to be primarily delivered by one manufacturer, and that would be Zen Studios. They created Pinball Effects, which appears to be the latest platform and is free to download and install off of Steam. It comes with 2 free tables, one of which is an Old West theme, and it's pretty good, and the other one, I just don't like the art, so I don't play it. This platform offers a huge list of possible pinball tables, but you have to pay for each table individually. Sometimes you can get them in clusters, but if you wanted to get all the tables, it would cost you in excess of $500, so this is something that is really a mix and match type of an event. Honestly, I'm not interested in all the tables, only specific ones. Which leads me to Elvira and the Party Monsters. This is a table that I was very excited to purchase, because even though it was crazy expensive at $10, it is something that I have a connection to. The table is an actual table that was released by Midway under the Bally label back in 1989. This is the latest video interpretation of that table. I played this years ago on the Atari Lynx with the game Pinball Jam, and I loved it. That game was far more rudimentary in its appearance compared to this for sure, but I was a huge fan of that table, so buying this one was a natural extension. We have a video game pinball experience, and it's built off of a real existing table, so it primarily looks the same. Where it does differ is when they do extra things with the video game medium. As a video game, they can go off script. They're not forced to go with the physics of an actual table. So we can get unique animations, specific physics, and you can even see vapor trails from the ball in certain circumstances, and of course depending on how you set up your tables. You can see bats flying away from a certain area if you hit a certain target. Water is going to splash if you run up one of the ramps, and Elvira can appear in a hot tub at the bottom left of the table and splash around. These are things not on the actual pinball table, but I like these little visual enhancements like this. Maybe it's not pinball realistic, but this isn't a physical medium, and it would be kind of a shame to not try to take advantage of it at least a little. I think it adds to the uniqueness of a video pinball game. The table has cartoony recreations of Elvira, and various monsters are going to be on the table. It's a bright table, and the Elvira sounds are great. I'm a fan of the original table, so of course I'm going to say that. She's an iconic horror movie host, and the table is not horrific in its nature, but it's catered towards a more classic horror sensibility. The pinball experience for me was mostly playing on the Steam Deck for a few weeks. The thing is that it played great handheld, but as soon as I put it in the dock and set it up to record footage for this video, the frame rate dropped out and it was choppy as hell. A few updates later, I got it back to smooth, although overall I think I might prefer this one handheld anyway as opposed to using a controller connected to the Steam Deck. I swear there is the tiniest bit of latency for that particular setup. Maybe it's not huge, but I can certainly feel it. The one thing I'm not a fan of is when this game is over, it flips to a loading screen if you want to play again. It seems odd that they would have to reload the exact same table a second time. I mean, it only takes a few seconds to do it, but it feels weird that it just doesn't reset in front of you. If I were changing tables from one to another, I could see this as being a thing. But I'm not leaving the table, so it feels a little off to me when the camera backs up and shows me an external view of the table. It's just weird. The graphics are crisp, the sounds are classic Elvira from the pinball machine itself. So if you like pinball games with sound, this has it. Elvira, of course, keeps her upbeat, sarcastic-sounding reactions, just like you would expect. The physics on the table feel great to me, and if you switch the camera mid-game using the Y button, it moves smoothly, and I don't find myself getting visually confused on screen. So I appreciate that smoothness, and honestly I would expect it on a modern platform like this. I think the only frustrations I have with Zen Pinball are when you load the game, they make it painfully obvious that there are a ton of tables out there that you don't have. It's not like you just jump in and you're looking at only your tables. Obviously they want to sell you every table, so they're constantly dangling them in front of you. I guess I'm just not a fan of the particular interface. I'm also not a fan of how expensive these tables are. I will certainly wait for sales on Steam before I start picking up individual tables. You can get some games in individual packs, but the thing with the packs are that you're going to end up buying a pack of tables just for one table inside it. If you only want one or two tables, you're going to get stuck with the rest. Overall, I really like this pinball table. Being a fan of the Elvira show probably helps, and the fact that I played the Lynx version is probably a good thing. But this is still a great table experience, and if you're a fan of pinball and or Elvira, this is probably worth a play. I also think the Zen Pinball platform offers you trials of many of the tables too, so that's pretty nice. The free Western table that they give you with the game, you'll just get that for free if you download this. That's pretty great itself too, but I'm going to review that one later. Well, that's all I have today for Elvira and the Party Monsters for Steam. Thanks for stopping by for a look, and I hope to catch you on another video.